Jain, everyone. Welcome to you all in this fifth online monthly lecture series on Jainism. Today we have a very special person with us, Professor Vinay K. Jain, who is going to deliver his talk on Supreme Forgiveness, a Jain practice for spiritual progress, social harmony, and peace. The session is being presided by Professor Narendra Bhandari from Ahmedabad. So, without any further ado, I would like to begin today's session by Mangalacharan. Kindly join your hands. Namo Harihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Hariyanam, Namo Vajjayanam, Namo Loe Sabbasahuram, Eso Panchinamokaro, Savvapavapanasano, Mangalam cha Savvesim, Paramam Bhavai Mangalam. Arhanto Bhagavant Indra Mahita, Siddhasha Siddhishwara, Acharya Jina Shasano Natikara, Puja Upadhyayaka, Shri Siddhanta Supathika Munivara, Ratnatraya Panchaite Parameshthina Pratidinam Kurvantu te Mangalam. Kurvantu te Mangalam. Thank you very much. As you know, this is an open platform and we have restricted the permissions for opening your microphones and cameras. So if you have any questions after the lecture, we will have the Q&A session. You will be able to raise your hands and ask your questions to the professor. Now, I would request our Joint Director, Dr. Srinetra Pandey, to present the welcome address. Dr. Pandey.
Namaskar, Jai Jinendra. I welcome you all to the fifth lecture under the monthly lecture series by International School for Jain Studies, Pune. As we have already informed about the topic, so today, topic of the today's lecture is Supreme Forgiveness, a Jain practice for spiritual progress, social harmony and peace. And to deliver this subject, we have invited Professor Vinay Jain. Professor Vinay Jain ji is a well-known scholar for his original research in the field of radiation biology and oncology. He studied biophysics in India and Germany and served as faculty member in several academic and research institutions in India, Germany, and USA. He retired in 1998 from the post of Director, Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences, Delhi. Presently, he is interested in science and spirituality dialogue for wellness, in particular research in meditation, forgiveness, non-violence, and peaceful coexistence. He serves as a professor emeritus at Jain Vishwabharati Institute, Ladno, Rajasthan. Professor Jain is associated with us for a long time, and he is one of the academic advisors of our institute, ISGS. Sir, on behalf of myself, on behalf of ISGS, I welcome you to this virtual platform of ISGS. To chair this session, we have invited Professor Narendra Bhandari ji from Ahmedabad. Professor Narendra Bhandari ji is a space scientist. He carried out research in planetary Science at Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai, University of California, San Diego, and Physical Research Laboratory of Department of Space at Ahmedabad. He was among the first group of scientists to study the samples of moon brought by Apollo mission of NASA and Luna mission of USSR. He started and chaired ISRO's Planetary Sciences and Exploration Program and made pioneering contribution to India's first mission to moon, Chandrayaan first. Professor Bhandari has served as the president of the International Lunar Exploration Working Group, and for his contribution to planetary and space sciences, Professor Bhandari has been honored with several national and international awards, notably Outstanding Achievement Award of ISRO for his contributions to Indian Space Program, Vikram Sarabhai Award in Planetary and Space Sciences, National Mineral Award of Government of India, and Special Certificate of Recognition by NASA. He has also been given the Marwar Ratna Award and Lifetime Achievement Award of the Institute of Genealogy, Ahmedabad. And recently, he was awarded Acharya Hastimal Award by the Akhil Bharatiya Jain Ratna Hitaisi Sangh. So the Visionary Society of California has honored him with the title of Space Visionary. Presently, he holds a chair at Science and Spirituality Research Institute, Ahmedabad, and he is president of the Jain Academy of Scholars, Ahmedabad. He has published and edited several books and articles on Jain philosophy. So we are very fortunate to have such scholars with us as a speaker and chair. Behalf of myself, behalf of IHS, I welcome you both to this monthly lecture series. I would like to welcome Professor Pramod Pandey, Vice Chancellor, Deccan College Postgraduate Research Institute, Pune. I welcome our advisor, LC Jaina LC member, Sri Narendra Bhandari ji. I welcome Professor Birendra Singh Bittu who is from Delhi University. I welcome you all who is participating this in this lecture series from various parts of the globe. I welcome our colleagues here at ISJS. I welcome you all. Over to you, Pragya ji.
Thank you so much for welcoming us, Professor Pandey. I think you meant to address Mr. Narendra Parson to welcome him.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, let us now begin the lecture. And we cannot wait to hear Professor Vinay Jain about supreme forgiveness. So please kindly tell us the importance of forgiveness in our lives. Welcome, sir.
सभी ग्रेट महानुभावों को मेरा शत शत बार प्रणाम, अभिनंदन, वंदन। मैं बहुत प्रसन्न हूं कि आप लोगों ने मेरे को इनवाइट किया। First of all, let me begin with asking a question. Why is forgiveness important? And what is forgiveness? These are important questions which we'll try to answer during this lecture. Now, what is forgiveness? You see, it seems to me to be a little strange that we are asking this question, because if you look at our epics and history, it has been full of wars. In Mahabharata, Ramayana, World War I, World War II, all have been in the history full of wars, and there will be this also in future. And there is one, again, a very strange thing, that all those people who tried to forgive were later on by several people blamed. For example, you take the case of Vibhishan in Ramayana, or similarly in Mahabharata, and in Jain philosophy, Bhagwan Parshvanath and Kamat. Kamat, as you know, was the elder brother of Parshvanath. And he was, for his undue behavior with the wife of Parshvanath, was punished by the king and ordered to be out of his kingdom. He had to ride a donkey and blackened with the face, and asked to get out of it. Now Parshvanath, after this, felt very sorry for his brother, so he went to ask forgiveness from his elder brother, Kamat. When he went to ask for forgiveness, Kamat got further angry and he killed him by a stone. Now in the next birth, again Kamat was born as a tapasvi, Agni tapasvi, and when Parshvanath saw it, he asked, "What you are doing? You are killing, burning a snake and his wife in this." Kamat said, "No, no, no, that is not possible." Then Parshvanath cut the tree and showed that the snakes were burning. And he recited Namokar mantra to the snakes. The snakes went to the heaven and were born as Padmavati and Dharmendra. And next birth again, Parshvanath was born as an elephant, and the king was a muni doing tapasya in the jungle. When Kamat saw the muni, he remembered his last birth and recognized the elephant as his brother Parshvanath. So he started to again trouble Parshvanath by throwing stones and so on, and tried to kill him again. But Parshvanath did not bother about it. So there was a mud, and in the mud there was a frog. And when Parshvanath saw that frog, he tried to not to kill him and didn't put his foot down. So like this he saved, and then he again went to heaven, and Kamat also went to heaven because he was doing also tapasya. The next birth, Parshvanath was trying to achieve Keval Gyan by doing tapasya and tyag, and again Kamat tried to kill him by throwing stones, etc. And since Parshna did not bother about it, he achieved Priyavil Gyan, and there was Jai Jaikar. When Kamat saw this, he realized his mistake and fell at the feet of Parshnath and asked for forgiveness. Parshnath forgave him, and like this he went. Okay, so this is the stories in the Parshnath, in the Jain Ramayana and Jain Mahabharata, and about the story of the Tirthankars. 10 births have been described in Jain Purans. So this is how things are, and so this is a little strange, appears to me, because most of the time those who forgave, they were blamed for it. Okay, now let us see the slides. Now you have been already known about the title. So next slide. Now this is the abstract of my talk. The purpose is to study the effect of forgiveness and other associated factors with quality of life, and study the influence of Preksha Dhyan in preventing cardiovascular risk in adults. Methodology is, as usual, comparative cross-sectional pre and post PM study, and we have studied 55 adults recruited from 7-day residential training camps on Preksha meditation in Adhyatma Sadhana Kendra, New Delhi, and JVBI Ladnu. Data were analyzed by multiple regression model to compare the association between PST, ANG, aggressiveness, forgiveness, and quality of life. Now the results are distributed statistics showed that subjects suffered from high stress levels, and that who had a cardiovascular risk or had heart attacks. Multiple regression analysis showed that perceived stress, anger, and reactive aggressiveness negatively contributed 40 to 50%, whereas forgiveness positively contributed 23% as predictors of quality of life. Now, this is very good because stress is one of the most common problem with all the people in the world, and forgiveness, and that is the word sorry in English. It is or excuse me, are very common, the most common words. Anger is the most common emotions, and therefore this study is very important because Preksha meditation helps in reducing the level of the strength of ego and perceived stress, and changing the association of negative emotions with positive ones, thereby significantly improving psychological and social quality of life. So in conclusion, it is suggested that the study of forgiveness is positively associated with improving quality of life, and their level has also been enhanced by PM. So our empirical studies have confirmed this. Next slide. This introduction. Forgiveness is considered a dispositional process in which one moves from feelings of anger and the desire to retaliate. बदला लेने की भावना जो होती है बहुत कॉमन है, to bring motivated persons to respond benevolently to a transgressor. Motivated persons or nations, even nations, because World War. So previous studies have consistently found that forgiveness tends to be positively correlated with mental and physical strength. Indicators, empirical studies confirm this. The other contemporary techniques are yoga and meditation, Ashtanga yoga, and which includes meditation based, and also the Buddhist technique of meditation, that is mindfulness, Sahaj Yoga meditation, and transcendental meditation of Mahesh Yogi. These are being developed to effective improvements in quality of life factors. So all the different meditation techniques have the same goal and have reached the same conclusion. Now let me present our results. Now, what is Priksha meditation? It's a technique developed by Bhagwan Mahavir and further developed by Acharya Tulsi in Ladnu. It's a flexible, this is important, it's a flexible and effective multi-component system involving physical, psychological, social, and spiritual health. Now, flexibility is important because then the meditation technique can be individualized, so suiting to every person, depending on his capabilities, his problems, and therefore this is the difference between Priksha meditation and other meditation techniques. But also Mahesh Yogi's transcendental meditation also flexible because he gives a mantra depending on the person. Priksha meditation aim is to purify the self and transform the personality. Priksha means to perceive with full awareness and equanimity, without bias, attachment, moh, or aversion, rag, dvesh. Now, practice of Priksha meditation is becoming increasingly popular, with the training camps being regularly organized nationally and internationally at various locations. For example, in Berlin, in Brussels, in London, in New York, New Jersey, Florida, Texas, and so on. In several countries, it is being organized. Therefore, it is becoming increasingly popular. More and more people are joining this. And our empirical studies have been published in several international journals in 2017, 2018, and 2014, where Sri Dharmanandji, who was the chairperson of Adhyatma Sadhana Kendra at that time, he collaborated with us actually on his saying I joined the group and carried out the empirical studies. And the studies were published in 2014. Then in 2017, 2016, I joined the JVBI Ladnu, and the vice chancellor at that time had asked me to submit a project, which I did, and she granted then 17 lakhs for to carry out these studies. A full report was published by us in 2016 and submitted to Janvesh Bharti and also to Municipal Council of New Delhi, South Delhi, who had also sponsored it. Khushbu had joined me at that time as a postdoctoral fellow, and she's at present associate professor at the Morarji Bhai Desai Institute of Yoga. Now, what are the various components of Priksha meditation? These meditation techniques were developed by Swami Dharmanandji, and these are described in this table. First of all, you have to wake up very early at the Brahma Muhurt and then practice meditation practical for 1 hour in morning and evening. And these yoga components are asanas and pranayam. Asanas, as you all know, Ashtanga yoga asanas, anupreksha. Now this is very important. That is contemplation for half an hour. Namokar mantra chanting once, Kautsarg, transcending the body for 40 minutes, lectures on spirituality, 16 minutes. Now these lectures were given by Professor Manchanda of All India Institute of Medical Sciences. He was the professor of cardiology, and myself. And eighth is Swadhyam, self-meditation for 60 minutes. Self-meditation means without any guidance. Lectures again by Acharya Tulsi by digital video once a day. So these are the various components, and how they are practiced is described here. And how did we measure these physiological components? These were measured most common technique of self-report questionnaire, that is SRQ. Self-report means that the participants were individually asked to report about the results of this meditation, and that is abbreviated as SRQ. Each day they were, and then after a week, the average was estimated. The SRQ was measured by 16 terms on 4 points scale. That is 4, 3, 2, 1 for the following responses. That is respect, mostly, usually, sometimes, or rarely. And these were measured by test-retest method, that is before doing Priksha meditation and after doing Priksha meditation. Now, what are the results described on this table? Pre-meditation was stress level 34, and after this meditation, it is reduced to about 30. Effect size minus 0.5, and p-value that is highly statistical, 0.001. Similarly, anger is 28 reduced to 25 after meditation. Effect size minus 3.6, and p-value about 1.001. Reactive aggression, and the aggression was measured as reactive and non-reactive. And this is also similarly forgiveness and quality of life were increased after forgiveness meditation after PM, and again highly statistical significant. This is again described in the form of a graph, which makes it a little more clear. You can see that it increases, remains constant for about 30 days. The Diksha meditation was given to the children, administered to children for 1 month. And again, this is the dose response curve. So again, it increased, remained constant. The mean again shows the same thing. Now, let us try to see what are the mechanism of Priksha Dhyan and how it enhances forgiveness. Now, as you all know, in the Jain practice, the Kautsarg is performed. Kautsarg says that is a anupreksha, that I am not this kaya, I'm not this sharir, though I'm in this kaya, but I'm different. I'm different. I'm in this kaya, our sharir is nashwar. It takes birth and again rebirth, dies and again rebirth. Takes. I'm Atma. I am Shashwat. I'm eternal. I don't take birth and rebirth. I've got rid of this cycle of birth and rebirth. Because I perform Priksha meditation for purifying the soul, and I achieve Anant Darshan, Anant Gyan, Keval Gyan, and Anant Virya, Anant strength, and Anant happiness, which remains eternal, which is not destroyed as a function of time. And I feel happy in every situation, whether I'm suffering from disease or disorders or pain. And I reside in the Siddhashila and remain happy thereafter forever. Now, what are our future recommendations for future studies? First of all, A study should be concluded using a longitudinal study design, including a control arm, large-scale sample population to facilitate the generalization of the results. Because our study is very limited, only 55 adult and children participants, and it did not include the control arm separately, but only as a pre meditation arm was considered as a strong control, and later on, after this PM Preksha Dhyan, the empirical results. Sample population is very small. Therefore, it is important and necessary to do it on a large population and a longitudinal study. Ours is only a cross-sectional study. And therefore, this is important to generalize the results. Now, the popularization of Preksha Dhyan is based on enhancing forgiveness therapy. It should be planned using online training for its practice. This can provide immense public health benefits to a large group of populations. Now, because our study again is on a limited numbers, and it shows that this can be used as a therapy. So therefore, if large social groups are to be benefited, this must be done on a large group of populations in various countries, not only in India. And the data analysis method should be improved by the use of artificial intelligence and computer-based machine learning applications. This will make results more accurate and free of personal bias. Now, this we are already doing in our later work, which remains yet to be published, but we have submitted for publication in international journals, and therefore this is recommended. Then the biomarkers should be objective, so remove any subjectiveness. And these biomarkers are the body language, resolution by EEG and skin conductance response analysis using artificial intelligence and machine learning. ECG, EEG. These are common techniques in medicine today and are routinely performed. Okay. So I think I will like to conclude my formal lecture now and say thank you for listening to my very limited talk with attention. Thanks very much. If there are any questions, I'd like to answer them. So, anybody, Bhandariji, questions?
And your 2-3 questions. Hello. So if there are any questions, you may ask them.
So I would like to ask a question. You have tried to relate meditation and forgiveness. So meditation enhances forgiveness. That is, I think, the message you have given. I just wanted to know what is the mechanism. Is there anything you can say about the mechanism of how meditation can improve forgiveness.
It's a great question, very difficult to answer, but we can try. Meditation improves forgiveness by reducing stress. Reducing stress as our objective measurements have shown.
Ji.
All right. Yeah, Subhash ji had a question. Subhash ji, do you have a question or a comment?
Yes, I have a question. मतलब, should I speak in English or Hindi?
You may ask in any
Hindi,
language. If you know
Okay,
English,
okay,
it's
okay.
better.
ओके, मैंने मतलब मैं देख रहा था कि जो प्रेक्षा मेडिटेशन का जो मॉड्यूल्स है उसमें जो टाइमिंग्स दिया है ना, तो वो शेड्यूल में मैंने इतना मैंने ज़्यादा टाइमिंग दिया हुआ है कि ये डेली प्रैक्टिस के लिए अगर होंगे तो मैंने प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा, क्योंकि मैंने एक आदमी का मतलब अगर मेडिटेशन में और प्रेक्षा मेडिटेशन में मैंने बीत जाएगा तो इसका मतलब फिजिबिलिटी भी बहुत माने प्रैक्टिकेबिलिटी बहुत कम होंगे, क्योंकि प्रैक्टिस नहीं कर सकते मतलब इतना बिजी लाइफ में। ऐसा मेरा मानना है। तो आप सर प्लीज मतलब
ऐसा है कि हमने पहले 1 मिनट कराया, फिर 2 मिनट कराया, फिर 5 मिनट कराया, फिर 10 मिनट कराया, फिर 20 मिनट और फिर आधा घंटा। रिजल्ट्स करीब करीब सेम थे, लेकिन थोड़ा थोड़ा अंतर था, थोड़ा थोड़ा डिफरेंट वो बढ़ता गया थोड़ा। भाई एवरेज का उस ग्राफ में मैंने दिखाया हुआ है एवरेज। तो बिजी लाइफ में आप 10 मिनट कर सकते हैं, 10 मिनट में रिजल्ट आ जाते हैं। जिसके पास ज्यादा समय है वो देर तक कर सकता है। मैं करीब 20 मिनट करता हूँ रोज, सुबह और शाम। तो ऐसा है।
All right. If anyone else has a question, please raise your hand. Sir, may I ask a question?
Yeah, please.
Sir, why did you relate forgiveness with Preksha meditation?
No, as I mentioned, it's not only Preksha meditation. The first studies were done by Mahesh Yogi in US with the transcendental meditation, where he gives a mantra and asks the participant to meditate on the mantra. And those were published, and he did it on a very large number of participants. So our results just confirm his results, nothing else. Similarly, the mindfulness meditation based on Buddhism, these are also similar. So it's not unique. Preksha meditation is not unique. The only uniqueness is that it uses both the anupreksha and the confirmation. And therefore,
All right. I think Subhash ji wants to say something again.
हाँ, नमस्ते सर। और एक क्वेश्चन मेरा था कि मतलब जो प्रेक्षा मेडिटेशन माने जो एंगर जब आता है ना, तो मन में मतलब ब्रेन में जो सेरोटोनिन लेवल है वो अगर कम है होता है तो सेरोटोनिन हार्मोन जो होता है ना, वो सेंट्रल माने जो सेंट्रल सेरोटोनिन है वो अगर कम हो जाएगा तो मतलब एंगर ज्यादा होता है। तो अगर मतलब ये मेडिटेशन का एनालिसिस रिजल्ट जो एनालिसिस वो अगर मतलब साइंटिफिक माने नाम से अगर हो सकता है तो मतलब इसका मतलब जो माने पॉपुलैरिटी वो भी ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगा। इसका माने एक्सेप्टेंस टू द पब्लिक पब्लिक ये बढ़ जाएगा। ये मेरा मतलब एक सजेशन है। अगर साइंटिफिक टर्म्स में माने जो मतलब डॉक्टर ने मतलब मेडिकल साइंस में जो माने
I
जो
think
टर्म्स यूज किया
got
जाता
your
है तो उसके में देखा था कि
I got your point, Subhash ji, and I think we also have our chair, Mr. Bhandari, and he would be able to in a better position to answer the question as well as give his comments as a chairperson today.
So it was a very illuminating lecture where we learned that forgiveness and meditation are connected, and I very much appreciate Dr. Vinay Jain has established it by working on subjects with very good statistics, and of course he pointed out that more work is required with a larger sample size. Now what comes to my mind is that what is the mechanism, and I was wondering that forgiveness works in two ways. Firstly, it reforms oneself by its epigenetic effects. I mean, we normally think what we are because of our genes. So anger genes and all these stress genes have been identified. But forgiveness is a great virtue, of course, but it works both ways. It will, its behavior or asking for that supreme forgiveness, what you said, Uttam Kshama, unconditional forgiveness, that will affect your genes. Your behavior can affect your genes. I think this is a subject which is ripe for further research. And I think what pioneering work Dr. Vinay Jain has done, I think we should take it forward and try to understand the mechanism, because once we can convince the world, he mentioned the problem of wars in spite of all this Bhagwan Mahavir and Buddha and all other, Tirthankars. The wars have been going on. We have not learned forgiveness because we are not able to convince people that this is actually not only remove their stress, make them harmonious, but that is only one aspect. Social harmony is one aspect. The spiritual part, by improving your genetic makeup, I think that is that appears to be a very promising way of looking at it. And of course, I was thinking why we give it not as much importance as we give to the 5 Mahavrats, because 5 Mahavrats, you have to practice them all the time. But this you can, forgiveness you can seek. I mean, it is both ways. You seek forgiveness and you forgive others. So it connects oneself to the whole universe, everybody living in the universe, and that has its own effect. So I think this was a very beautiful lecture, and we learned that the practical benefits, but there is much remains to be understood from theoretical point of view. So I think this has been a wonderful talk, and we should try to take it forward. I mean, its genetic effects as well as epigenetic effects both can be worked out with modern day technologies where we have very, powerful molecular techniques. What is the pathway, how it changes your biochemical, electrical, or hormonal functions in the body. So these are very ripe topics, and I am very happy to be a part of this lecture. So thank you, Dr. Vinay Jain, and thank you, ISJS, for organizing this beautiful lecture. I believe that once we understand the mechanism, we'll be able to convince the people, and we can avoid future wars. Actually, some wars are going on at present. But so the best thing is, I also wonder why United Nations or some such organization don't have a universal day of forgiveness like we have, for our Jains have on this Samvatsari or whatever. I think that will be a great practical application of the work which Dr. Vinay Jain has done. So with these few words, I would like to, I think Dr. Vinay Jain has some comments to make. So let us hear him again and have some clarification.
Yes, sure. Professor Jain, you have something to say.
Yes, I very much appreciate Dr. Bhandari's comments, especially that he pointed out the epigenetic component of this. We have also studied this epigenetic, and the serotonin and dopamine were measured by us in collaboration with Dr. N.K. Chaudhary of INMAS in his lab. Khushbu had taken the samples, frozen the samples, and taken them to Dr. Chaudhary's lab. Now, the results again confirmed objectively what our SRQ self-report questionnaire showed, and that was confirmed. So I'm very thankful to all the participants and also to my colleagues, that is Dr. Khushbu Jain, Dr. Shweta Sharma, Dr. Gautam Kumar, Dr. N.K. Chaudhary of INMAS, and Dr. K.C. Jain of Adhyap Sadhana Kendra, Professor Dugar of Ladnu, and Professor Chaitan Pragyaji, who is at present in Florida International University. So with these words, I like to thank you again, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. The most interesting part of the lecture was, instead of the philosophy use, focused on the application of forgiveness. Thank you so much, on ourselves. Thank you so much for that. We have Mr. Narendra Parson with us from Jena ALC. I would request him to say a few words. Mr. Parson. Shilji, please unmute him.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Pragyaji. And it was lovely to hear Professor Jain speak. And then I loved Dr. Bhandari's comments. And I was coming to the same thing. No, Dr. Jain mentioned about happiness. Happiness is a relative term depending on who you ask. And unless we document something like Professor Bhandari suggested, it'd be very difficult to convince people who, I mean, we are all part of this and we're grown up knowing these facts, or at least we consider facts. But unless we can demonstrate something, it'll be very difficult to persuade and or sway people to think in these terms. But I really enjoyed it, got me thinking again. And so it was a good way to start my morning. Thank you, Professor Jain.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Parson. All right.
Thank you, Professor Bhandari, too.
Instead of us saying thank you, I would request Professor Ashok Kumar Singh to deliver the vote of thanks. Sir, up unmute.
Thank you, Pragya. Good evening and Jai Jinan, everybody on this online platform of monthly lecture series organized by ISJS. First of all, I am very thankful to the speaker, Professor Jain, who delivered a very relevant talk on a problem and solution which is concerned with the all persons of all walks of life. He started with the importance of forgiveness in life, its contribution in elevation of quality of life, social harmony, and spiritual upliftment. He also thrown light on the devices and mechanism, and his statement on the empirical study through the practice of Prekshadhyan was very important. I am very grateful on the part of ISJS that he took time to deliver such a beautiful lecture. I also express my sense of gratitude to the eminent scientist, Professor Narendra Bhandari, who put valuable inputs to the further study of forgiveness and advanced researches in forgiveness. There are so many distinguished personalities as audience to grace this lecture. First of all, I am very thankful to Professor Pramod Pandey, Vice Chancellor, Deccan College, Professor Narendra Parson, who is very closely associated with our ISJS activities, Professor Bipin Doshi, Dr. Trapti Jain, Virendra Singh Bittu, Sri Rakesh Jain, Dr. Srinivas. They all took time to attend and this lecture and encourage us. I also will like to mention with thanks our colleagues who took pain to organize this lecture, and finally the Pragya. Thank you all, and I think you will keep supporting us in this venture. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for coming. And we could understand another topic from a different approach. Yes, Vinay Sirji, you are saying something.
Yeah, I'm very happy to see Dr. Ashok Kumar Singh, whom I had met in BHU. I just wanted to say that if anybody wants to have a copy of my publications, I can send them all to you. My phone number is 9818-186570, or you can also contact me on my email, vinayjain@gmail.com. And if anybody wants, I can send them the copy. I shall be happy. Thank you very much.
Definitely, sir. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. We have studied another topic with a different approach. This was the 5th lecture in our online monthly lecture series on Jainism. Next month, we will meet with another topic, with another person. Stay tuned. Thank you, Jay.
Next lecture will be delivered by Professor Christopher K. Chappell from Loyola Marymount University, California. The topic is concept of religious pluralism in Jain tradition, and this topic will be delivered by Professor Chappell on July 22nd. So on 22nd of next month, Professor Chappell will deliver this talk, concept of religious pluralism in Jain tradition. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. So stay tuned for 1.5 months. See you on 22nd July again. Thank you, Jai.